All right, welcome everyone to this week's first private Q&A session for Wednesday, September 8th. Got a bunch of questions. Let's go ahead and begin. We will start with some charts. GB Global Blue Group. Oh, wow. This stock has taken a monster hit to the downside. That is a pretty damn big correction, going from $15 all the way to $6. It's coming off a weekly MRI buy and 3 consecutive extensions. Look at that. We're almost at another MRI buy daily. Yeah, it could be time for a bounce. It'll be tough to reach the MRI daily. You'd have to make some new lower lows. We're already rallying a little bit. I like it. I like this. You know, the weekly MRI buy was last week. This is a somewhat recent IPO, and it has come back to its IPO levels after a nice rise. This is a fairly low risk entry here. I'm going to go ahead and mark it for future reference. I would give it a little bit of leeway, just giving it a chance to create that MRI buy on a daily. I'd give it down to 590. And the target would be at least the MRI resistance line. Nice find. Next, we have Sam. Another one that took a pretty big nosedive. This was an expensive stock. Also coming off a weekly and daily MRI buys. Today is showing some strength. Another nice low risk entry. I like it. I mean, interesting how alcohol sales are starting to go down as people are tired of drinking in quarantine. Weekly and daily MRI buys have to be respected. I'm going to respect them. I mean, this thing has pulled back quite a bit. It has some more room to the downside. The breakout was back here in the $400 area. So you can certainly go back there, but I like this MRI support line as well. So yeah, I'm going to leave this bullish trade mark on there and see what happens. Farm. Well, look at that. It looks like we already took a bullish trade on this. And it worked out pretty damn perfectly. It was based on a weekly scale. I can see it already. I mean, there's no reason to panic. I'm still bullish. I mean, I think this can go even higher. And probably go all the way up to the resistance line. Of course, you need to be setting a stop so that this is a profitable trade. If you haven't taken your profit yet, I'd just stay patient. Looks good. Earnings is coming, so maybe it is better to just take your profit. Uber and Lyft. So this is Uber. It appears the stop loss on Uber has been hit. So I would not be messing with it, even though the chart still looks kind of bullish. but clearly there's better trades out there. The weekly MRI buy did not really materialize. I would look for better opportunities. Or about Lyft. Lyft weekly still looks good. Lyft on the daily. Looks like the stop loss was hit here as well. Then the next day it rallied hard. It really depends if you put that stop loss in or not for break even. I would raise that stop loss. If Lyft goes any lower tomorrow, then it's pretty much over. You can see how the initial leeway was pretty high. You can raise that. I mean, I still think Lyft and Uber have some upside, but clearly there's better TA opportunities out there. Coca-Cola. I believe Coca-Cola was a short trade. No, it was a long trade. Stop loss was hit right there. Puts you in a negative trade. So the stop loss did its job. I'd stay away from Coca-Cola until it breaks that green line. I wouldn't mess with it right now. Yeah, I'd wait for a breakout. We can go ahead and delete this. It was a decent buy off the MRI, clearly. You're buying it off the doji candle, rallied back to the swing highs. I would have still been bullish here, but then the stop loss gets hit. Got two more. Well, we already covered GB. So VMD. I mean, the weekly MRI looked good. I don't like current candle. I'd wait for a breakout. I don't know, just not feeling this one. All right, guys, all the other questions are not charting related. Everything else is nutrition and politics. So let's take a look from the top. Australia is saying we need to be vaccinated to get out of that jail. What should a person do? What is worse, getting vaccinated or staying here? I don't know. You guys know my views on vaccinations if you're healthy, which is the other question. If you're not healthy, should you get vaccinated? It's up to you. It's up to you. If you're not healthy, then get healthy. Better than the vaccination. Just get healthy. Start eating right, start exercising. I'm deteriorating. I'm not exercising at all. I'm just like upset at the world. I mean, look, if you want to put your health in danger as a healthy person by getting vaccinated, then it's your choice. It's your choice. I'm not going to stop you from getting vaccinated. If you want to take the risk of a vaccination, then get vaccinated. It's a double risk, right? I see it as a health risk if you are fully healthy. And two, it's a freedom risk because the more people comply with the vaccination, the more rights you lose for your freedoms. And they're not going to give you your rights back. Australia's done. Australia is a prison. How do you find peace with current COVID insanity? I can't. I don't haven't found peace with current COVID insanity. I can't stop bothering about loss of freedom. Yeah, it's a problem. Jobs are mandating it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I had one of those jobs, I mean, if you go to Catherine Austin Fitz's website, she has these contracts for you to print out and bring to your employer for your employer to sign it. So making the employer liable for any health issues or any other issues that you may have with the vaccine. So if your employer is mandating a vaccine, make your employer sign a paper that they will be liable for any health issues relating to the vaccine. And let's see if your employer signs it. Also, don't quit. Make sure they fire you so you can probably sue them. Should old people get vaccinated that are not in good shape? I don't know. It's up to each person. I can't answer that. I just know that if you're young and healthy, I wouldn't do it. If you're old and sick, it's your decision. Ultimately, it's each person's individual decision. Oil versus butter for cooking in an egg carnivore diet. I mean, butter is okay. Depends on the oil. I prefer cooking on animal fat. Pork fat's my favorite. My favorite oil to cook on is pork fat. You can make it yourself, like save the bacon grease and then use it for future cooking. Do you think COVID will ever end, or will we have to live with it? It'll never end, because remember, COVID has replaced the flu and the common cold. There's no such thing as the common cold anymore. There's no such thing as flu anymore. There is only COVID. That's it. I'm not sure the tests can tell a difference between a common cold and COVID, because remember, COVID is the medical term for a common cold. So it's here to stay because it's been redefined and clearly human engineered based on the latest Freedom Information request. COVID will never, ever end. It is the new flu. There is no more flu. No one dies of the flu. No one gets the flu. There is no flu. There is no elevated temperature. If you have a fever, you have COVID. If you have the sniffles, you have COVID. If you sneeze in public, you have COVID. Everyone now has COVID. There's only one disease in the world, COVID. Everything's COVID. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't matter if a runny nose is not a symptom of COVID. If you are sick, you are a COVID spreading disease, unvaccinated vermin. That's basically the world you live in. I mean, ghee is just it's clarified butter. It's fat, same thing. Yeah, I like cooking on fat. Generally, in developing nations, older people are more unhealthy. And that's because the American diet has been exported to the developing nations, unfortunately. It's the American diet, you know, it's the feeding of corn to everything. It's the high fructose corn syrup. It's the sugar. It's the Coca-Cola. Man, guys, just drink water. Drink water, drink some tea. It's the sugar you eat. A lot of it is sugar. That's what's making it unhealthy. I mean, look, I'm not a fan of the vegan vegetarian diet, but if it cuts back on sugar, it's healthier than eating meat plus sugar is not as healthy as eating I mean, it's worse than just eating vegetables. At least vegetables cut the sugar out. All right, guys, I'm done with questions. By the way, I'm probably gonna only extend this private Q&A till the end of the year. I'll probably just extend everyone till end of year. You're not gonna have to pay anything extra. So I'll tell my web developer to just extend everyone's access to private Q&A till end of year. And after that, we're probably gonna retire these. Not really working out the way I planned. And I'll just do a public Q&A once a week for a few hours. And then people will just be able to ask questions. There'll be another service. There'll be an MRI notification service. And those that are a part of it will be part of a Q&A for that notification service. But that's going to be only MRI stuff. All right, guys, I don't see any more questions. So we're going to go ahead and end it here. We're going to pause it in a minute. Might as well promote some stuff. Dubai, October, and November. Come out and join us. I see one more question. Do you think it's ethically bad that bondholders get paid in debased currency? Well, debasing the currency is ethically bad, but it's accepted, so it's fine. They know what they're getting into. That's why we hold Bitcoin. Bye, guys.